they're kind of like weak and hopeful, if that makes sense. It's kind of like, hey, I liked your look. I hope you respond well.
Yeah.
Right? And the problem is the girls that will respond well to that are the girls that, upon looking at you, automatically think you're higher value than them. Right?
I see. So then
But the hottest girls will be like, oh, thank you. Another guy complimenting me.
It's just a line that anyone could say. There's nothing unique about it.
Yeah, and it's also not particularly polarizing. It's generally positive, right? It doesn't make them sit up and take notice. Oftentimes, like very done up, very like in demand, traditional hot girl type girls on the open, they'll just be like, not interested, kind of rejection. That's a value problem. You have not hit their radar as a high enough value guy for them to spend time on. The value problem is solved by being more of a badass, being more polarizing, those kind of things. And there is a point to being an asshole. Like I even say to girls in set, I'm an asshole. Like I say that to them all the time. I'm like, I'm an asshole. I'm warning you in advance, right? So there is a point to being an asshole, but there's also like you want to be a productive asshole that's not like making the world a worse place, if that makes sense. And when you say fuck off and then walk away, when walk away and like tell her off and walk away is part of it, it's almost like you're trying to like get even with girls or like punish girls for being a certain way or something. And that's a very bad mentality. You don't want to go there. Well, you are being reactive, but also it's just making the world a more negative place.
That sounds really, it's actually not very masculine.
Yeah, it's a very like I'm gonna fucking take my ball and go home kind of thing. You know what I mean? So I don't really recommend that kind of stuff. I do recommend figuring out how polarizing you can be. I actually over teased a girl without the individual teases being rude, but just over teased a girl to the point of like crossing her breaking point. And I've done it twice. I've probably done it since, but I did it twice. That really stood out to me. So like, early in my game career, it was really shocking to me. And the reactions were this. First one was like, when I was late in college, right before I became a dating coach, but soon, like not too distant from when I was about to become a dating coach. I was out at this college bar. I was teasing this girl, and went well. I teased her, she loved me. Teased her more, she loved me and started giggling. Teased her more, she started giggling and touching me. Teased her more, started complimenting, blushing me, touching me, whatever. Teased her more. Got better. I was like, it's like she's just gonna like pop with lust. Like it's like so good. I teased her one more time, and it was not even a hard tease. She was drinking wine. She slammed her wine glass down, like broke the stem, shattered the glass, like, fuck you, I'm leaving, and ran to the bathroom. It was just done. Wow. Right?
That's crazy. So it's like
yeah.
the straw that broke the camel's back.
Exactly. No, I didn't. It was getting better, snap. Right? No warning. I just over teased. I was like, well, fuck, I guess I found out how much teasing you can do in set. There is such a thing as teasing too far, but you'd be surprised. It's a lot further than you think. You have to really, really, really tease to find it. So there's different ways to deliver a tease. Let me put it this way. If you pause after the tease, you're increasing the chances that it'll get a reaction. If you are talking, throw in the tease, and then go back to talking, you're making the tease more subtle and more like it didn't happen, right? Which can be good in some cases, right? So subtlety is good, level of reaction is good. And you have to determine, it's a trade-off between the two.
Ideally, you want to mix both together.
Ideally, you want to do what you have permission for. Does that make sense? So a lot of times the talk, throw in the tease, go back to talking. A lot of times you'll do that in a group setting, right? You're engaging the group, throw in the tease. She can react to that, but in the meantime, you're still engaging the group. And it's like the tease happened. We all know it's there, but you're not making a big focus about it, right? Because if you're like making a big focus on teasing her, then it seems like you're trying to hit on her. Whereas if you tease her and it can continue on, it's very aloof and very not try hard and stuff like that, right? So that type of tease has that value of being non-try hard and being like it just happened, right? And so there's less risk to that kind of a tease, right? The kind of tease where you're like, wow, you're just fucking walking like beautiful disaster. That's what you are. Right? Okay. And then you pause and whatever, right? And that's the only topic of conversation, and there's nothing else for her to respond to than that. That creates a lot of tension because she's now has to deal with that topic, right? So there's times when you want to make the game front and center. There's times you want the game to be subtle.
So it feels like if you want a hook, the best thing is to tease and then just pause and get that reaction.
That's often effective, right? Okay. I don't know about best thing to, what I mean? There's a million, but yeah.
But it's a great way to get a hook.
Yeah, in general, if you've created tension, hopefully you did it for a reason, and you want to benefit from that tension. So leave at least enough pause for it to have an effect to get a reaction if she's going to.
Okay.
Once it's clear she's not going to react, then go on with your next thing. Yeah. So like you, I see you're wearing a baseball cap today, right? If it was soccer, I would have liked you.
I see. So that's good.
Does that make sense?
Stuff like that.
Right? But you say the thing, and then afterwards you figure out how to follow up on it. So you come up with it in the spot. You don't think of the whole thing and then deliver it. You say the first thing, and then having said it, then say the second thing.
Completely improv it.
Yeah.
You say it and then like.
Yeah. But you practice it as an exercise so that you improv it well, right? Right? I see you're wearing a blue shirt. I didn't know you were quite so melancholy.
Okay.
Right? Make sense?
Okay.
Yep.
So
You seem very attentive. I fucking hate nerds.
So you comment, you just make a complete observation that's neutral, and then.
You make whatever observation you make. If it happens to be negative, you follow it with a positive. Happens to be positive, you follow it negative. Happens to be neutral, follow it with either one. But you just make the first observation, and then you trust yourself to do the push-pull, right? The good thing about that, you're going to come up with really good openers from that, but if you get good at that exercise, you can also use that exercise anytime during the set. Any statement you make, you can follow it with positive, negative. So you have push-pulls on command.
Okay. So
And-
practicing that exercise. Just
So it's
make that
basically like a
intentional.
muscle.
Yeah, and one step beyond that, even if you didn't make a statement, you're just in the conversation, she's getting a little too high and mighty, negative spike. Because you practice, you know how to give negative spikes on command. You're talking and she's getting a little nervous, a little bit, you're too high value, positive spike on command. So practicing this exercise will also help you with that too, right? But it's also a great way to just have openers on command, and openers that are at least a little bit interesting.